Hello, and welcome. Episode 53 of the TechTeenth podcast, where Black excellence and tech meet. It's your girl, Janita.
Clearly, I'm Charles today.
Charles.
I know, with your little polo. Look at his little polo. He ain't got a hat on. He got a t-shirt on. Where you going after this?
Man, listen, it's a good day today.
He going outside.
Charles Esquire.
I'm old Ricks, man. I ain't even say it last time. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Oh, yes.
Get your people on.
Oh, yeah.
Our numbers been going up, actually. So we getting closer to that 500 mark.
Listen, we're
But
past
please
special.
subscribe, y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Continue doing so.
It's
And with that, how y'all been? Since we last argued about being African American. Now go check out our last episode where I argued with them about being African American or Black American.
So,
but 4th of July is over.
So I was in Mexico.
Okay.
So
All right.
might be Mexican American.
This man-
I can do some salsa.
It's a Mexican American. Look, see?
Mexican American.
A lot of tamales.
This man went
Tamales
to
is
Mexico for 4th of July. That's what I'm talking about.
Listen.
F America.
Ain't the
F
first, it won't be the last.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
How was your 4th weekend?
It was good. Like
Yeah.
I said, chill. We went and saw fireworks. Nothing too crazy. Just, I don't know. You know.
Relax.
It was good people. It was good people on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Was it hot up there? Breezy?
Oh, no, it's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah,
It's been
it's
100,
it's
100
hot.
plus the last
It
week
is hot.
in Atlanta.
It's one of those, you go up, you wish that you could have maybe like staring at the pool. You're like, I wish we could get in.
Right.
But it was good. Fireworks across the city, good music, good vibes, good people. It's nice.
Got some good food.
What about you?
I chill. I cleaned up my condo. Like, I know I was doing renovations, so I had a lot of stuff in boxes. So I had to unpack all that. I had all my shoes in the shoe boxes still. So I bought some like real shoe, like some nice plastic shoe boxes and put them in there. So now it looks very nice.
Okay.
So yeah, I just chilled and worked on face-to-face tech team clips. Oh yeah, I want to shout somebody out. Shout out social media manager. Since nobody else shouted out our social media manager, Otis. Thank you.
Yeah, actually,
Welcome.
thank you.
Otis.
Thank you so much.
I was looking at the one yesterday.
Yeah.
Nobody shouted me out for our 1.4 million views for doing clips every day. But no.
Actually, you're right. No, thank you. Because
appreciate
it actually is a big part of what we're able to do here. And actually, a lot of our reach is because of the work you do. So I will sincerely say thank you so much.
I know y'all are appreciative. Y'all always thank me in the
Listen.
chat. But I had to tell the world, it's me.
It's Otis.
right.
He's the one.
He's trying to
The
get beat up.
MVP.
Look, y'all give me really good content, so it's very easy. It's
Listen.
very easy to do our
Thank
clips.
God it's easy. I was telling somebody the other day because they were like, well, how hard is it for you guys to edit? And I was like, I'm not going to lie. We don't edit anything out.
Yeah.
Like, we thankfully, maybe rarely, sometimes if we ask about time or whatever, we'll have small things to edit out, but we actually don't edit out
I can
audience,
tell you,
any content for you guys.
53 episodes, we've probably removed less than 3 to 5 clips out of a full episode. And that was just because we were talking about something that didn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take those numbers.
Since we saying thank yous, I'm going to say thank you to one of my homeboys. I ran into him in the gym this morning, and he's a content creator with his girlfriend. So we kind of giving each other our blessings and making sure we keep supporting each other. And also,
love
too,
that.
our friends that are out there, we notice that, again, those who aren't supporting, we notice, we do. It's a real thing. But for those who are not our friends, who want to become our friends, keep liking, following, and sharing our stories. So, but again,
For sure.
we still going to be humble. We appreciate the love, appreciate the watches. So I just say thank you to the people we don't know.
Who was your boy?
Jeff.
Okay. He said his name. I ain't know.
Yeah, my boy Jeff and my boy Jeff. Yeah.
That's funny. So 2 things from what y'all just said. One of my golf buddies was like talking about the podcast. He was like, "How many hosts you got?" And I was like, "So you clearly ain't watched the episode if you asked me how many hosts we got."
Oh, actually, I'll shout out my homegirl Deja too, because she did a great job. She was like, "You guys meld so well." When I posted just us hanging out at the retreat, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love you guys together." I had no idea she was a listener, and she's like, "I listen every week. It's so great." So shout out to Deja.
I was like, hey, that's Janita's friend. I'm like, yeah, I'm Charles. Yes.
Yeah, I did get a little Janita. I was like, "Hey, you Janita's friend?" Janita got all the doing a little hookup. Janita got all the baddies in Atlanta. I swear,
I'm proud of them.
boy.
Apparently, actually, today one of my friends was like, "You're kind." No, let me not say that. Let's go ahead and get it. Actually,
right, what we just did, let's talk
let's
today.
not. We need to get on the Charles.
This topic. What are we talking about?
Man, we're talking about kids. Me talking about children, raising kids. What is actually? I can't see the title.
Oh, I'll tell you. Hold on.
So I got
Please
y'all.
hold.
Yes. The difference in discipline when we were growing up versus y'all disciplining
90s
y'all
Black
kids
household
today.
discipline versus gentle parenting today.
So us growing up in the 90s and how we were
Yeah. So we laughing about it. We laughing about it because it's something we got through.
Yes.
Right. So I think anything where people struggle, we can laugh about it later. But it's a real
1,000%.
topic that needs to continue to be talked about, though.
So it's called discipline in the past, but now it's a little bit more like abuse.
It's definitely abuse. It was abuse then.
It's abuse.
We couldn't call Child Protective
Okay,
Services
all right.
on our
So
parents.
to open us up, I want to hear the worst ass whooping
God.
that you remember. I can go first while you guys think about
I
it. 'cause
remember
had
mine, so go ahead, Mom.
listen,
Yeah.
everybody remembers the worst ass
Emotional
whooping.
damage.
Okay. Worst ass whooping I
How
had.
old were you?
Which is the saddest part. I think this is the part that makes it like, golly, it really was abuse. I was 6. Worst ass whooping. Okay. I was in Montessori school. I got in trouble because I was a liar. Oh my God, I was a liar. I was a deceiver. I was a whatever to make me think I wasn't going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So again, stupid as hell. They wrote a letter home in your agenda. I decided to use whiteout. To white out the message. Like my mom wasn't going to be able to tell the difference between whiteout and non-whiteout. And also what she clued my ass into. She turned the page. She said, I could just read it from the back.
Damn.
Because,
Your 6-year-old
yeah,
brain was like,
Critical thinking is 0.
No, not critical thinking, but it's my first time lying. So I think this lie and this deception is good enough. So my mom was in there and the teacher basically was like, Janita never shuts up. She does her work, but she's really distracting to everybody in the class. And I was like, but I'm good. So now I've started to talk back because that's another part of it, right? You can't defend yourself. You're talking back
you
now.
cannot.
When I tell you, my mom said, we just have to go to the bathroom real quick. She had a brush, wood brush in her purse.
Oh, God.
She beat me with it. Then she found a ruler. Oh no, that was the order of events. She found a ruler first. She grabbed a ruler on our way to the bathroom, broke the ruler on my ass. So then she pulled out the wooden.
Was it a yard stick? Or
No. It was just like a wooden ruler, but with the metal edge. Because I remember that metal edge. Beat my ass in the bathroom, in the Montessori school. Pulled out the wooden brush, beat me with that. And then we had to go back. And I couldn't cry. You know, it's one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Get it together. You better not shed a tear out.
Yeah.
Beat
Man up.
your ass when you get home.
Did you lie again after that?
Huh? Several times.
She ain't learned.
Several times.
It didn't
Because, no. The problem.
Beatings don't work.
One, beatings don't work, but
they
two,
don't.
the problem is when you start getting good at lying, you got 10 that go off and maybe 2 you get caught on.
Yeah.
So it makes you still want to lie because I'm like, hey, I'm batting 80%.
So at that
yeah.
point, the beatings they didn't do anything to you, so you still continue to do what you want to do with no. So you weren't disciplining you. They felt like they were disciplining, but they weren't though.
But also when you feel the worst, I mean, it's not really like the swing gets harder.
Right.
You know, like
That's a real
it's an
thing.
unfortunate thing, but it's not like your parents necessarily get stronger. So it's like also I understood pretty quickly this is a temporary pain.
Yep.
Because it was just the whooping.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, my butt doesn't hurt. 30 minutes later, I might have a welt, I might have a bruise, but
I used to take the whooping.
punishment
It was
is
like
for the
punishment
worst.
over whooping. I was like, give me the whooping.
So follow up question to that though. So if would you inflict the same type of pain on your daughter today?
never.
Why not?
She won is bad. No, I'll just,
One, my daughter actually for sure, when they were like, oh, whatever you did, you'll get it 10 times worth.
Oh.
I'm one of God's favorites because when I tell you, my daughter is one of the most honest, compliant, rule following kids ever. But I love my mom to death. So also, I think I'm going to put this pretense over all of us. Anything we say today does not negate the love we have for our
Facts.
parents, the respect we have for our parents today, or the understanding that we have for our parents. So I want to say that first.
Yeah.
Because what I'm about to say is not in spite of anything my mom did to me.
Yeah.
I don't have the level of anger to make me hurt a child.
It's tough.
I just
That's key.
simply don't have the level of anger. My daughter has made me so upset. But anytime I look at her, I see a child. And that alone doesn't allow me to inflict pain. I also, though, know what will really hurt her, and I will do that in a heartbeat. Where it's like,
I got that.
Hey, I don't think actually pain, physical pain, is the worst thing I can do to you. There's way worse things I can do to you. And so, in a way, I'm actually inflicting worse pain than a whooping, because I know what it is to say, hey, I know your top 5 toys. We're giving them away today.
Dang, that would hurt.
Tough.
Right.
That's tough. Yeah.
All right, what's your most embarrassing? Or not embarrassing, because that's why I got embarrassed.
Okay, embarrassing or worse?
I know some of my family members listen to every single episode, so it's going to be tough to pick out one. I got a lot of butt whoopers. I ain't going to hold you. Honestly, I'm kind of like, it's all great in me. But my worst butt whooping I remember, one of the ones where I blew up the family car.
Which deserved the worst whooping. Anyway,
So I don't agree, because it's an age thing, one. So it's an age thing. I might have been, again, 6, 7 years old, but playing with fire in the backseat of a car. Those seat covers were so flammable. And it's like, again, I'm playing with a lighter that my father has, but it's in the backseat of the car. Is woof. And, again, I was a little heavier back then. And my nickname was Professor in football, so not too much. So so I'm running into the house with go get a red Solo cup under the sink for like 30 seconds, go back outside, hit the back seat, go back inside the house again, hit the back seat. I got to the third cup. I took it to the top of the steps. Yeah, this car gone. I'm talking, it was engulfed in flames. I put the cup in the sink. I went in my room and just waited. I knew it was coming. There was nothing I could do at this point. They're like, why don't you just tell your parents? Bro, it is engulfed. What am I going to tell them? They can't put it out. So I just remember I was underneath the desk. My mom just came in the room. They even asked. They were like, where's he at?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. You must be like a miracle child to your family, because if Bryce blew up my car, I'd be like, she's destined for jail.
Right.
But the fact that you're actually not there is a miracle.
But in my mind, it's like, well, it's kind of like my parents' fault, right? At the time, I took account.
Well, it is because
I was outside by
because you're a
myself, and
6-year-old with a lighter in the car. I'm not gonna lie. That does.
Because I could have been in the car. I could have got trapped. You never know. Like, accidents happen. Like, luckily I didn't. And I would say the same thing. Like, my son cannot hold a flame to me and who I was as a kid. Like, he still got 4 years of high school left, but at that point, I'm a legend. And his lifestyle, like, as far as the stories and whoopings I gotten, even. But you talk about the less pain that I felt after a while. My dad, my mom, my uncles, like my grandmother's, like, bro, and having a lot of cousins. Our grandmothers would beat us with switches just because one got in trouble. So I've watched somebody get a whooping and had to go get in line to get a whooping too. That's a little bit more traumatizing. You know what's coming now.
Right.
So that's mine though.
Oh man. All right. So mine, I was probably about the same, 6, 7, like early elementary school. I wasn't bad. Let me preface it by that. I was not a bad kid, but one of these kids, of course, I was gifted or whatever. I was very smart growing up. So one of these white kids, he was just as smart as me, but he had me a little bit. So I was jealous and I got upset and I stabbed him with a pencil.
Oh shit.
And I thought they weren't gonna tell. I thought he won't go tell because he was afraid of me. No, he went and told, and parents called my mom and my dad. And I get home, and my dad, my dad is 6'3". He was 450 pounds at that point. He's big up, right? I'm little and I'm 6'1", 240. So I get home, and my dad, I know you watching, he beat us naked. You had to be naked when we got whoopings with him. Like fully unclothed with a belt, butt ass naked. And he beat me so bad, I ain't want to touch another pencil because I stabbed him with a pencil. I ain't want to touch another pencil. I'm running around the house naked. He still oh my God. I still remember it to like it's happening yesterday.
Listen.
So I think there's levels to it, right, of beatings, because you don't want to leave like whips on your children. You don't want to leave bruises on them.
They ain't care.
Oh, at that point,
I had one time where it's so weird. Like with my mama, I was like, you know, when you like you're laying down and your legs are like this. My legs was doing this so much, I had a gash on my thigh. Ooh. I had to get that. Lasted for years, and every time I looked at that gash on my thigh, like the scar from it, I remember that beating, and I was doing that in my legs. So but then I learned because my mama didn't know. I started putting those 10 pair of boxers.
Oh, that's a real thing.
I started putting layers on.
Underwear. Yeah.
And once I learned that, I was like, oh, I can do this. You can whoop me as much as you want. I was big cry like, nope.
I'll never.
She probably don't know that, but she do now.
I'll never forget the worst day, which was actually when my mom saw me laughing after a whooping. Because, again, you think you're above the system. You think, again, especially having kids now, I can see my daughter thinking she's getting one over on me. And I'm like, ma'am, I understand game. When my mom came and she said, oh, this is funny.
Oh, God.
You can go upstairs and grab your TV. I said, what? Get your TV. I mean, a box TV.
Oh, where you going with it?
So I
She
grew
did
up
the
well.
Charles joint.
I'll say this.
Go up
I
and down
grew
the
up
stairs.
well. My mom said, take that thing out your room and take it all the way down to the basement. So that's not one flight of stairs. That's 2 flights of stairs, but a box TV. I ain't got the strength. So I'm stopping. I feel like I'm about to fall down. And she said, don't you break that TV either. So you just pressure on pressure.
God.
Got downstairs sweating, tired. Okay. Take the door now. When I tell you, I was like, can you just beat my ass, please? Please.
I think most kids would actually say that give me the whooping now versus
rather
like
have
give
the
me
whooping.
punishment.
I always pick the whipping because I hated it because my punishments would be 2-3 weeks a month.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, go to get that 2 minute, 2 to 5 minute whipping out the way.
So I have so many stories, but one of the things I actually think I made a mistake on, and me and Josiah's mom talk about this, is we made a mistake of not whooping him at an early age, and it was my decision because the amount of whoopings and beatings I got. I think they weren't necessary. Well, okay, yes. Should I have been disciplined? Yes, but I shouldn't have been whooped all the time. 'Cause I got to a point where I just didn't feel it anymore.
Well, because also whooping was the punishment for everything. So
Right.
there wasn't a
Right.
scale.
Yeah.
It's like,
the skill is how much of a whooping, how long your whooping was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but punishment. But again, I didn't feel. I feel terrible now looking back, bro. Like putting a 1 or 2 or 3 year old in timeout is like it's the most traumatizing thing for them.
That might be the one thing that I vehemently am against.
Yeah, don't do that.
4 and below.
Yeah,
What,
When
timeout?
people
It's like solitary for them, bro.
timeout,
It's the worst.
screaming
bro.
at them, like because when you understand the psychology of a kid, literally a 3-year-old's makeup is they have 0 impulse control. So you can say you know better. You can tell a 3-year-old don't touch that. They have no impulse control. So it's literally at that time their brains won't allow them to follow instructions. So you beating them is literally abuse because they genuinely don't know better. So that was one of the biggest things that I understood that I tell every new parent or parents as they hit these new milestones. Read what development is supposed to be like over this next year so you can temper your expectations accordingly for what you think they should know and what they shouldn't know. There are grown people who don't know how to act after years of experience, and you
Prisons are
expect
full of
somebody who's 36 months into life to understand things. It's wild to me. So
So I want to also preface this by saying our parents were trying the best they could, and a lot of them whooped us. I'm not gonna say beat us, but they whooped us because that's how they were raised. So they were doing what they were taught. They were doing what how they were taught to discipline, or how they were disciplined.
Yeah.
So they didn't know any better. They didn't have access to the internet. They didn't have access to all this information to say there are other ways to discipline your child. So I do give them grace. And our parents were going through a lot. Like they were trying to feed us. They were trying to work. They're black in America. Like they were going through a lot. Not saying that is giving them like that's relieving them of the fact that they did it, but like they were also going through a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to insert something. They didn't have access to information, but they had access to was that Bible. How many times have you heard "spare the rod, spoil the child"? And that's what I'm telling you. Again, coming from those large families, like we were all getting to all of our cousins, like. We just knew that was your punishment. Like, there's no timeout. There's no Joe Jackson move some bricks from the end of the driveway to the other side. I'm like, nah, you're going to get this whooping and go think about it.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Hey, so now, one thing I do, so I wasn't whooping Josiah at an early age. It got to a point where it's like, all right, bro, like, now you just fucking with me. Like, I got to do something. Like, I don't know what else to do now. The timeouts is not it. No, I got to whoop you. But it's only when he can regurgitate it back to me, though. So, like, what did you do today? And why did you do that? And like, what is the repercussions of these things? Like, what are the consequences? And he can tell me because we've already spoken about to him. Like, you're just choosing to do this now.
Yeah.
So now it deserves a whooping now. So he was much older by the time I started whooping him though. I think I whooped him one time with like 2 fingers, and I felt terrible. So I wouldn't amend that. I would recommend
Listen,
that.
I thumped Bri once, and she was like, ah! Like the worst thing that ever happened to her.
Yeah. So going back to the parents though, I feel like again, if you think about talking about your mom being in that segregation era and dogs and police in the last episode. I mean, our parents were growing up on farms back then, right? Like it was they were probably working in school at 6, 7, 8 years old. So you had to, they were to the T, like something to do. Like they needed to be on time, do things right, or they weren't going to eat, or they weren't going to sleep in a heated house, or have warm water. Like it was more stretching things for them.
Yeah.
So I just thought about something when you just said that. I'm like, did whoopings come from slavery?
Of course.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
how you
100%.
get the slaves in shape.
Yeah.
That's what they saw. And so it's really one of those you don't know any better because that trauma alone of physical abuse on kids to get them to be shaped right directly stems from slavery.
Yeah.
And I thought about this earlier. 'Cause I thought about like I asked myself the same question. I was prepping for the episode, but you think about what people had to do in times after slavery to make sure their children were protected.
Yeah.
If you didn't do something right, you could go outside and go say something or whistle at a white woman or do something to get you killed.
Or not whistle at
Don't
a white
go to
woman.
this creek. Don't go to this area. I told you not to go over here because this will get you killed. Don't cross those tracks. Like, so a lot of that stuff was just trauma just passed down, but for different reasons though.
So they had to instill this fear in order for their child not to get murdered, possibly, right?
1000%.
You got to fear what I'm going to do to you so you won't go do that thing that you want to go do.
And take it a little bit more personal even. There's times when I've asked Josiah certain things around like, do you want to see me mad? And it's not in the sense that he's done something. It's more so like for his protection. So if he leaves his house, I don't need him to interact with a police officer a certain way. I'm like, that's my job as your father.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
So I don't need you to say anything. Just make sure that I'm there. I tell him don't talk to the police. Don't do anything. Like make sure I'm there.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, he knows how angry, upset I can be. I said he's more so afraid of me than the cops. I could promise you that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I always attributed my mom and dad and aunts and uncles and grandma beating me to making me who I am today.
And see, that's the juxtaposition of all of this. Is it's like, dang, I really don't want you to beat me, or I don't want to beat my child, but I am a little like a part of that did knock some sense into me and create some very hard
Respect is real.
And I got proof of it. Like my mom knows this. Where we grew up in Henderson Heights, North Carolina, the kids who weren't getting beat and the kids who did get beat, all of us are over here now, successful careers, successful parents, and the ones who didn't get beat, not there.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, so that's why I attribute it to her beating me. I mean, I say her. Them, because it wasn't just Mama Janice, it was everybody. Them beating me to creating me who I am today and the discipline I have with following rules, following the law, not stepping out of bounds when I know I'm not supposed to. Now, granted, they could have probably instilled that into me without beating, but the beating's attributed to me being in line and being on the right track. So I thank them sometimes. I'm like, I hated it. But y'all are the reason why I'm here.
I just think
today.
there's levels to it. It doesn't have to be extended. You can whoop them, but not for 20 minutes, bro.
So
not you, your mom and dad. Yeah, I done been whooped already for this already.
Yeah.
I've been one of them. Bro.
For this already is crazy.
That is
I
wild.
already got beat for this.
So I feel like in this new wave of where gentle parenting has come up, I more feel like
What's gentle parenting?
so
What
gentle parenting
consider?
in
I
my
struggle with that,
mind.
too. Yeah.
Well, so I say I'm creative parenting, which I'll get to.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But so I'm not a gentle parent.
Okay.
Because I think gentle parenting, which it does require an immense amount of patience, it requires an immense amount of self-control for you as the adult to really again, watch a 3-year-old have a temper tantrum and understand they can't help themselves. This is fine. A 5-year-old should not be having a temper tantrum. And my problem is if you let them get away with it without understanding, then that 3-year-old that threw a temper tantrum can actually be a 13-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. So gentle parenting to me is literally evading, in my opinion, discipline.
Yeah.
And that's why I am not actually a fan of gentle parenting versus creative parenting, which is just what I call what I do. So some of the worst things that Bri has done has resulted in me having to figure out how to creative parent. And so I actually took one of my mom's most diabolical plans and I put it back to Bryce, which was, so everybody, you can use this. It is really infuriating and it's a hard thing. But Bry's discipline when it's really bad is I give her a composition notebook, not wide ruled, narrow. So, or college rules. So you have the thin lines, as most lines as can fit on a page as possible. Whatever she did, I will not. So it's like, I will not lie to my parents. I will not deceive my parents. You can get off punishment when I see 20 pages front and back done. Do you know how long that takes? Do you know how much your hands hurt? Do you know how embedded in your brain is that I do not ever want to do this again? And that's where I say it's creative parenting, because I took that straight from my mama, and she was literally sitting there sobbing, please can I stop? And you're like, no. No, like multiple times, like, mommy, I'm so sorry. Can I please stop? And I say, absolutely not.
So,
because to me, it feels similar to, basically for me, when I think about creative parenting, it's, I want to emulate what the real world would be like. Everything that you do that's bad doesn't actually result in a severe consequence, where again, when we were growing up, everything led to a beating.
Yep.
Where in this stage, I want it to be, hey, it was something light, you don't get snacks for the day or whatever. Yeah. All the way to, hey, I know I promised you we were going to Six Flags. We're not going anymore because you didn't uphold your end. So we don't have fun today. And no, you can't sit home and watch TV. You have to, like, being bored is a repercussion of your actions. And so I think it's that of, like, being creative, standing on your square to say, no, I'm also not folding. You can cry to me. You can be better until you get through this. So that's been one of my tools.
I got something similar for you when she gets a little bit older. Because my 7th grade teacher actually made us do this in social studies class. So shout out to Miss Holman. She made us write excuses 15 times. Now, excuses are tools of the incompetence built on mindless nothingness, and those who specialize in them are seldom good for nothing but excuses. That's a whole paragraph.
Wait, say that again slower.
Say that shit.
We wrote that. We had to write it 15
No, say it again for real slower.
Excuses are tools of the incompetent, built on monuments of nothingness. And for those who specialize in them are seldom good for nothing but excuses.
Wow.
Damn. She made y'all write that?
The whole class.
Wow.
I never forgot it.
Well, clearly. But that's one of those things where once you write it in repetition, you're like, my God.
So I did that with Josiah this year. So every time I run his little cousins and we having a conversation, Josiah spit excuses, like he online, spit excuses. And he knows it. He knows it. But I will say though, I feel like even all the weapons I've gotten, again, I appreciate them, honestly, because it could have been worse if I didn't get them. But I feel like I played sports, and I feel like I was disciplined way harder playing sports than I did with my parents whooping me. I had to take a whooping from my parents before I had to go to football practice and pay the piper.
Bro, football practice discipline will hit different. When you got to run suicides.
Don't let your mom come tell your coach what you did at home.
Oh, God.
Bro, this is not your job. This has nothing to do with practice.
Shout out to all the coaches out there.
Facts.
Y'all are unsung heroes.
Until you roll sideways 100 yards, shut up. Don't talk to me.
Yo.
No. That's
funny.
Yeah, they would parents, but parents were, and again, similar to you said Henderson Heights.
Yeah.
The recreation centers in Greensboro, they're tied to like projects. So if you were a good team, you were probably tied to a project. So a lot of my homeboys, again, you tell those of us who would be at home and can come to practice and chill. The other ones they were just wilder.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And they were always paying the piper because they were like just not to control themselves.
Yeah. Dang.
So
when I was doing research, I saw something that stood out to me. They were saying like the way our parents discipline us could be looked as the easy way out, right? We did something wrong. They yelled at us. They hit us. They told us to go to our room, and that was it. With gentle parenting or creative parenting, you got to have more control, more emotional intelligence, more patience, right? Like to sit there and have your daughter write 20 pages out, like
because a lot of times the punishment for your kids is punishment for you too,
right?
Because I can't go anywhere.
You can't do nothing.
I can't have fun.
You gotta
if
make
she
sure
can't
she
watch TV, I can't watch TV. If she can't go outside, I can't go outside.
Right.
So it is really like a collective punishment.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is. So that gentle or creative parenting is a lot harder than just beating them and letting them go sit in that room for an hour. So I applaud y'all because I'm learning because I ain't got no kids. So I'm learning what I got to do when I get kids. I saw him one time when I was crashing with him. He had Josiah running suicides in the road. And I said, what is he doing? He was like, he was acting up in school. This was his punishment. I was like, oh, Charles don't beat Josiah. He make him go run suicide. And Josiah was so like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I remember he was at a camp at the YMCA, and anytime somebody's waiting for you when you pick up their child, because a bunch of kids, but he got somebody with him. He got a counselor. They come walk to the car. So I didn't have a good day at school today.
Oh, God.
What'd he do? He was just talking back, and he was disrespecting the counselor. And they were all women. I'm like, that's one thing. I'm like, we're not going to disrespect women. That's because he has 7 cousins that are all girls, mom, nieces, aunts. I'm like, bro, like you might be the only boy for the next generation, So I'm like, I need you to really have to be protective of women. So I'm like, I took him outside. We was in doing push-ups, burpees, running. But it's like I said, let's see how school go tomorrow.
I bet you won't talk. I bet you. He was like, I want to make him so tired he can't even open his mouth. I was like, damn, that's real.
But that's literally it. Like Brian's cut up, and I'm like, all right. Can you show me your favorite 3 toys? Put them in a car.
She gonna get smart on that. Show you her least favorite.
Oh, no.
You would know.
No.
You kind of know what.
Then
3,
I would
okay.
know.
Yeah.
And then, so she did that to me already, where she brought some toys that she was okay with.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, you want to play? So now we're going to get 5 of your toys. I'll pick them. We're going to also take the toys you had. And we're not getting anything. Like, so it's more of like, okay, so now you want to be deceptive. Now you lose more.
Yeah.
So I know what mine is. What was that thing that your parents should have taken away from you that they didn't know? That would have just made you just fly straight.
What they did take away from me sometimes, going outside.
That was your
ability to go outside and play, sitting in the house. So I had to do what you did, sit in the house and write. Homework and all that. So taking my outside freedom away.
She already did it. I couldn't go to prom.
You didn't go to your prom?
My junior
prom. Oh, senior, okay.
She let me go to my senior prom, but she was like, oh yeah, you're not on punishment. You just can't go to prom.
That's tough.
Yo, your mama won.
When I tell you the Virgo is, oh my God.
So
she knew.
Yeah, I think it got to a point where my dad was, I'm not whooping him no more. And I was older. She was like, you're just not going to play football no more.
Yeah.
And I remember I said, if I'm not playing football, you won't wake up tomorrow.
Damn, Charles.
And I'm telling you, my parents, I feel like he knew my mom didn't know, but he knew football was everything for me at that age. And it was an outlet for me on other reasons, but we've spoken about. If I didn't have the outlet, I'm gonna be at home thinking about stuff to do to you, bro. Like what you?
Yeah,
that's real.
But
that's real.
But that was he would always threaten me with that though. And I miss out on other events, but that's one thing I can't miss this. I only do it for 10 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
This is my sanity. I promise you. So that was one thing.
Nah,
like,
my mom knew.
I'm glad they did.
Because after that, I had a very good senior year because I was like, I'll be damned if she do this again.
Sure.
So y'all talked about this a lot. How do we? Y'all as parents, me as a future parent, how do we continue to try to break these generational cycles without raising soft kids? Because some people look at gentle parenting as raising soft kids.
Which I agree.
Yeah,
I do think it is.
So, yeah.
I do think it is.
So
That's why
emotions are screwed.
Where's the how do y'all balance that? I know you said with the creative
not only
parenting,
creative
but like,
parenting, but I will say there's something to go to therapy to become a good parent too. I think we also think about what it is to make us better as an individual or to heal our own traumas. But I actually have a wonderful therapist, shout out to Adrian,
nice.
who also was a child psychologist for a while. And so it helps me to often keep me in line when I say things of like what I'm struggling with. So don't think that you can't get help outside of your personal self for therapy. I actually encourage getting therapy for yourself. Using therapy also as an outlet for your children. I've been thinking about putting Brian therapy just for the sake of like, hey, sometimes you really need somebody that has no understanding of who you are as an outlet to talk to and feel like there's a good safe space outside of your parents that won't come back and tell me anything unless it's you're having suicidal thoughts, right? Unless it's the real detrimental things.
Yeah.
And actually also me as a parent appreciating and letting that be her time, I think is really valuable.
I think you said, I agree. Part of what you said for mine was creating a safe space for your child to have open communication. I feel like some of the reasons why we did things growing up is because we were just acting out and we could, and our parents didn't really understand us, so to speak, because we didn't have conversations with our parents about, like, at least, let me say not we. I didn't have deep conversations about what's bothering me today. Why am I upset? Why did I act out at school? Like, we didn't talk about that.
Or not only that,
I just
even
acted
if I
out and got beat for it.
Even if I asked a question, that was the response. Was like, why are you talking to me about growing things?
Yeah, you couldn't even openly
fast,
have
and
that
it's like,
conversation.
I just really am curious.
So that's why I said I was smiling so hard because I always say I wasn't bad. I was just curious. I just did things out of curiosity. You know?
Same. And I feel like I have to undo that trauma from growing up of not being able to speak openly about my feelings, about how I'm thinking, about why I did what I did. And now as an adult, a 40-year-old man, I'm still trying to undo that. Like, I'm still trying to get to process my emotions, my feelings, and verbalize them because I was always told to shush.
And it's
shut
important.
up, don't say that, don't talk to me, don't ask me questions, do what I say without even questioning it. Like, what if you're wrong?
Yeah, and
I got one beating when I was wrong.
a large part of though that rework is
Yeah.
hard because then what I find, and I'm not saying for Otis, just in general, what I find is we are all trying to clean up the silent portion of us, now we're almost over indexing and going like a huge pendulum swing where now we feel like we have to say everything.
Oh, yeah.
And that's also not okay.
Right.
Where it's like
Balance.
now you're cussing people out, or you feel like, oh, I need my voice to be heard. And it's like, hey, some of those voices actually should stay in your head. You know, like they need to be in there a little longer before you, but because we're not used to vocalizing and actually working through. So I find that now a lot of people I know are trying to get into that healthy balance of like, I want to still speak up for myself or say how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But I also need to understand that at rage point probably isn't the place that I should say it. I need to let my emotions live. And when that good balance of emotion and logic come in, that's where I need to actually like speak. But it's a muscle that you have to learn.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, do y'all know any parents who beat their kids? Like that are our age?
Actually, I don't.
Yeah, I was about that.
Which is crazy.
I asked because at that summer camp I was just at a couple of weeks ago, I saw one of the parents beat their son in front of everybody, which was so embarrassing for him. And he was just the rest of the day like that. He was one of the brightest students the whole camp that day. He didn't talk. He didn't do nothing. I was like, damn, she just messed up his whole day. I don't think he really did anything wrong. She was pissed. Matter of fact, I talked to the mom. She was like, oh, somebody almost hit me on the way here. I spilled the cereal on me that I was trying to eat. And then my mom was like, dang, you were pissed about that, but you took it out on him.
Misdirected.
Which I feel like a lot of our parents may have. They were redirecting their anger.
I actually have a story about that. One day, my mom came home. She was hot from work. I did something. Neither one of us can remember. We had a big glass dining room table. And my mom got hot. She started chasing me. She said, slow down. I said, Mom, I didn't do anything. And I literally had to tell my mom, like, you're trying to beat me for nothing. Like, I did nothing wrong. I did the same thing yesterday and I didn't get a whooping from it. Yeah. And that was probably the one time I talked myself out of a whooping, but it was more of like, I knew, like, I did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of it, which goes back to your thought of, or your statement of, we actually do a lot more work in theory.
Yeah.
I mean, our parents did a lot of work. I never want to have these conversations and discredit our parents. But
I know my mom was going through a lot. So, Mama Janice, thank you. I ain't like the beatings, but I know you were trying your best.
Listen,
I know you were trying your best.
They're always trying.
Yeah, but I think the difference is we weren't talked about why we did certain things. That's the biggest thing I do with my son. We talk about everything before he gets punished. So yeah, then we're gonna talk about it afterwards too.
You saying the why behind it? I like that because like I'm cool if all right, I messed up at school and you did this to me because I messed up. Cool, but like you said, if I ain't do nothing, you still trying to punish me.
That's
I'm like, why?
That's scary.
And then you can't even ask why. They're like, you can't question me, and I'm like, what? Where can I have a safe space to have a conversation about my punishment? Like it was bad, but we all turned out okay. Yeah. So what are some of our closing thoughts on this?
I mean, one is probably parent the way that you think is best. There's no right way. I always encourage people, though, learn your child and not the rules. So my daughter dictates how I parent simply because I want to make sure I'm the best parent for her. And what I've realized is like explaining the why matters a lot. And she actually is much better with understanding, even if I'm like, okay, this feels like too heavy of a topic for an 8-year-old. I'll literally put in Claude, hey, how can I explain this concept to an 8-year-old in a way that they will understand? So use your resources. Even if you don't know why, because it just feels right, do the extra work. And explain to your kid and parent appropriately, because also some of these kids need their ass beat. Mine might not be one of them, but some of these kids,
I've seen them.
It might be that, yes, a whooping is in there.
There were some bad kids, and they came. I'm like, why your mama need to whoop me?
It's in their calling. But yeah, just parent for your child, not for society.
Okay.
That's my
I had a similar takeaway. So I'll kind of more so push something forward and bring back
whoopings.
Bring back public shame.
Bring back beatings.
Allow the village to discipline your child.
Oh, yes.
Oh, so, I disagree with that.
No. My village. So
no,
again,
real.
if one of you guys are watching Josiah or whatever, I expect that from you.
I was going to say, that's more of what I mean.
I expect that from you.
If I say, hey, you're under this person's care, do not let my child get away with anything.
So
would you be cool with somebody beating Josiah?
No, don't touch my kid.
Okay. I was just making sure when you said
it depends on what he did.
Okay. If he blew up a car.
Well, you got a boy.
I have brothers, bro, and I'm no.
Same.
Yeah.
My uncles.
No.
You got a boy.
Just like grandma?
And you got a boy. Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
But no, you
No,
cannot
you can't.
touch my baby.
Don't touch
No.
But I think it's
You
a
can
limit.
tell me and I'll decide.
And it might not be you discipline him like physically, but you
Yeah.
can discipline him though.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah. I won't let
And if he don't do, so you don't. Now you're not respecting people.
Oh yeah, no. If I come over and they're like,
yeah.
"Hey, we took her iPad. She couldn't do anything. She was upstairs in
Yeah.
a room staring at a corner."
Right.
You tell me what she did. She probably gonna be staring at another corner for the next hour at my house.
And he's
too.
watched.
Like,
Like,
that's
stayed with
fine.
Josiah plenty of nights, and I'm like, I've never heard any stories because again, he's a really
Yeah,
he's a
I'm a
L7.
kid.
I've watched Josiah multiple times, and Josiah is one of the best kids out there. He's self-sufficient. So I really don't have to do much. Just make sure he stay alive. And
Literally, it's like, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? You good? All right, cool.
Yeah, Josiah's really so great job. I'm gonna give you a great job. Even when Bryce is here, she's quiet. She stayed to herself. She's not like mama.
Yeah.
Every time I've interacted with her, she's been very respectful, well mannered. So y'all are doing great. Without beating your kids, and
I
they
beat mine.
Oh, sorry, Josiah. Sorry, Josiah.
He said no.
They're turning out great.
He didn't
It's
get
a
like
great
I did,
young
but
man. She's a great young lady, and y'all are doing the best you can and doing what you feel is right. So,
What are your closing thoughts?
mine is. I had a quote. Hold on, where was my quote? Oh, fear may control behavior, but connection shapes character. That's what we talked about. We grew up with being fearful of our parents because we scared that they were going to beat our butt if we did something wrong. We just talked about having that connection and understanding and conversation and safe space with your parents.
Yeah.
That develops way more connection and relationship and bonding than any whooping, beating, punishment can ever do.
1000%.
So
Yeah.
talk to your kids, y'all.
Yeah, just talk to him. It's
Stop
so
beating
easy.
them. Unless Charles. Keep beating them.
Unless you're Charles.
We go to the gym now. We go to the gym. I get out
Oh,
the
that's
gym
fair.
now.
Yeah, work them out. Do
Yeah.
something more creative parenting. You don't have to
Yeah.
beat your kids.
No.
You can get creative in 2026.
You can find a lot
and
of things
discipline
that they hate doing.
Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
All right.
And until that, we'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Love y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.